Rebecca Hyenga has just been to the World Youth Days in Panama and says it was just a hoot and a great experience. We're speaking to her today in a very special Melbourne Catholic podcast with Tandy and Brendan. And this little section, Rebecca, welcome. Thank you for joining us.
Thank you for having me.
You say that it was a bit of a conversion experience going to Panama. Tell us the story in brief.
It definitely was. Prior to Panama, the best way I would describe my faith is like stale bread.
Okay.
It happens slowly, and if all you eat is that stale bread, you don't notice how stale it's become. So once I went on World Youth Day, I suddenly found a renewed faith in God, and I realised how much faith really impacts every aspect of my life. So when I've returned, all of a sudden, I want to exercise and get fit because God gave me this body and he made me like him. And if he made me like him and he gave me this gift, what am I doing to it? What am I putting in my body? How am I looking after it? And the things, times where God really challenges me and he asks me to do things that are difficult. Well, if God's asking that of me, then of course I have to answer that call. Of course I have to do those things. I'm passionate about caring for other people, so the little things. When someone wants me to do an extra yard duty at lunchtime, I don't have to do an extra yard duty. I don't want to do an extra yard duty. But God's calling me to say yes because that could make a massive difference to someone else, and it's really only 15 minutes to me. So I guess that it's really impacted the way I treat other people, the way I treat myself, the way I view this world.
We've got some wonderful stories in the podcast, and I think anyone watching this now will want to go to the podcast and hear your great stories. One of them that was interesting, just in brief, you were at a retreat prior to the World Youth Days and you didn't quite recognise Archbishop Peter, our new Archbishop.
No, I didn't. To my utter shame, he sat right in front of me and I just thought, who is this old guy? We're supposed to be under 35. I definitely see grey hairs in here. Who are you? And as they introduce the Archbishop, I'm looking around, he stands up and I think, oh, I hope you haven't heard me just whispering. That's not good.
We'll tell the story in full on the podcast. What would you say to someone who maybe is thinking of the next World Youth Days, which are in Portugal? What would your advice be, having been a couple of times, Sydney and now Panama?
I'd say don't wait. Invest in your faith now and see where that takes you, because if faith is important in every aspect of your life, then you need to invest in it and you need to put time into working towards that and making it the most incredible, life-changing thing it can be, so that when Portugal comes around and you have that opportunity to say yes, you say yes, no questions asked.
Our Melbourne Catholic podcast, based on 3 pilgrims from the World Youth Days in Panama. It's a very, very special chat to each of these people. One of those is Rebecca Hyenga, teacher at Mount Lilydale College. Rebecca, thank you.
Thank you for having me.